You're joining us in the midst of Refugee Week 2021, whose theme is We Cannot Walk Alone. Maokwo are an art organization that works with migrant artists and communities. They use art as a vehicle to build bridges and to challenge perceptions. So in a quest to creatively respond to the Refugee Week theme, We Cannot Walk Alone, we're joined today by Maokwo's creative director, Laura Nyahuye, and CARAG's chairperson, Lorraine Masiam-Pinella, as well as CARAG's secretary, Dinesh Leonaji. So welcome, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So by way of background, perhaps it's important to talk about why we're exploring this theme. The theme We Cannot Walk Alone is best seen in the light of what Martin Luther King identifies in his seminal I Have a Dream speech. There is a moment when he turns his attention to the white folk who, realizing their destiny and that of their fellow black citizens was intertwined, joins the movement for equal right. He says quite poignantly, quote, they have come to realize that their freedom is inextricably bound to our freedom. We cannot walk alone. For many of us, the COVID-19 pandemic has made life tough as it's thrown a lot of challenges and the future feels very uncertain. Looking after ourselves, our families and communities, the challenges of the past year and a half have exposed the deep inequalities between us, including in housing, income, and access to healthcare. But the crisis has also shown how interconnected we are, that the well-being of each of us depends on the welfare, safety, and hard work of others. We're part of a shared us. MLK may have been speaking during the American Civil Rights Movement in the 1960s, but his words resonate across space and time. Here in the UK and across the world today, we know that it is only by coming together that we will move forward, that when we choose to walk side by side, to share networks and resources, or make space for others to lead, we create deeper and longer lasting change than is possible alone. So, Lorraine, you've, in a quest to align your thoughts with this theme, you've written this poem, I Shall Keep Knocking Until the Door to This House Opens. So we'll give you a couple of minutes to go through your poem, and over to you.
Thank you.
Knock, 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 knuckles hitting a wall. There's no door to this house. I scream for attention, just my echo thrown back at me. A house would bring a sense of safety to me, and live here just like everyone else. I choose to take matters into my own hands because I know what I deserve. Dig, dig, dig. Numb fingers, I'm making a hole so I can let myself in. No matter how hard I dig, it's as though I'm entering inside a hard rock. Only my tears leave a trace on the concrete. Once fighting for civil and economic rights, Dr. Martin Luther King on 28 August 1963 said, "We cannot walk alone." Today, 16 June 2021, the journey to creating a freer and a just world is still alive. Battling new immigration plans, the fight to exercise our rights. We cannot walk alone. Knock, knock, knock. There is no door to this house. To friends we have lost, never to be forgotten. To restore what is lost, reclaim our power, we must work together. Our freedom is your freedom. Knock, knock, knock. There is no door to this house. Though knuckles bleed and oh, it hurts, knocking is now more than a choice. It is my lifeline. And I can see my bleeding bony bones, bony fingers. I watch my blood flowing from my elbows. I shall keep knocking till these hands are just stumps. I shall keep knocking until the door to this house opens. Knock, 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 knuckles hitting a wall. Knock, 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 knuckles hitting a wall.
You know, that's really moving and amazing. So Laura, as the creative director of Maokwo, talk to us about this theme and that poem that Lorraine has just recited, and what your vision for this project was.
I'm still recovering from Lorraine's reading. It's like every time I listen to it, like even though we filmed it, we read it, it just hits you every time you listen to it. As an organization, really, is an arts organization. We believe in the power of art, in the power of creativity to zoom into everyday lives. Because for us, yes, statistics, yes, they do matter. And political news as to, okay, how many refugees have been affected by the system, it matters. However, we believe in the power of the everyday life, in the power of actually zooming in to that specific life, minute by minute, hour by hour. Just like in Lorraine's piece, she's talking about knocking, and this is a life. This is giving us just a snippet of what's going on in her mind when she is reading those letters from the Home Office, or whether she's dealing with the lawyers, or whether she's just thinking about the next meal that he's going to have. And don't we have the right to live? And how can we make that real in the midst of so many reports that we are going through in the newspapers, in the television? There's so much noise out here. So how can we use art as a weapon, as a tool that really helps us to zoom into that everyday life? And that's the heart of of this theme, and I got so excited when I heard about the theme for this year. Like, we cannot walk alone, we can do so much with it, because it is true, we can't walk alone, we need each other.
So, Dinesh, welcome. You've written a piece that's titled "A Stranger I Met on the Road." So, over to you to read that.
A stranger on the road asked me for money to buy food. I could have ignored it, but I'm not heartless. So I stopped and asked him what was going on. He opened up, and my heart was broken. He was telling me what had happened to him, and I was carefully listening. At times, it brought me fear. Nevertheless, I'm glad that I listened to a stranger, because he was saying is real. Beaten up, knocked down, yelled at, was part of him for many years. Being poor is not your choice, but the world's. Look at the people walking by. They look at him with wild eyes. Not me, however. I wanted to listen more, but I broke in tears. Oh, how great it would be if we switched lives. How it would be safe in this cozy hive. Give money is the least thing I could do, but I was compelled to do even more. I gave him well wishes with empathy and love. He embraced it with great delight and care. Tomorrow I plan to see him again, but it never came because he's passed away.
Goodness. I mean, what do we say about that?
I'm so glad that I met him, because I've seen many times the people have ignored him, many occasions, and he's just asking him to speak to him, or maybe buy a hot drink or hot meal. But people are so many of them are ignoring him. So one day I woke up to him and asked him. I just asked him, "How are you?" Then he just opened up, and he went continually, and what had happened to him and why he in that situation. So it really broke my heart just to listen to him. And I was thinking myself, why didn't I stop before? Why didn't I stop before to listen? And I'm so glad that I stopped and listened. So I came to know that he's not just a person by the side of the road and waiting to, being looked at, but he is a real person with genuine need like every one of us. But because of the busyness of life, or maybe we have some preconceived ideas about people, and we just completely ignore, people like him. And as a human being, we exist because someone else love and care for each other. Basically, it's for me. Someone cared for me. Someone loved for me. So I exist today, who I am today. So mainly it's because the busyness of life, like I said, we are so become cancelled from the world around that we are living. So basically we are living in a cancel culture. The culture has become so busy and do not have time for other people. And also it's something to do with what I believe in as well. I really believe in we need to exist within a community. We need to look after each other. It doesn't matter that, how poor or how rich you are. It is about how much love you can show to others, how mercy, how grace, how empathy you can show to others. So therefore, we exist together.
Tears running down cheeks like hailstones, looking frail and fragile, grips with fear and terror. Her voice break out. Can you help me? Can you help me? Please, please help. Oh, my dear, are you all right? Come. Just calm down. Here, sit down and calm down. Now, anything the matter? Any problem? Talk to me. You are not alone. No, I have nowhere to go. I'm finished. I'm doomed. No, you are not finished. You are not doomed. Listen. Hold my hand and listen to me. You are not finished and you are not doomed. Your life is yet to begin. In fact, change for the better. Just sit back and relax. Drink some water first and cool your heart. Just let peace reign in your heart now. Take some bread. Eat. And never say you are finished. Never say you are doomed. Remember, when one door closes, another one opens. So cry no more. And know that you are not alone.
It's quite interesting that, we are talking about someone who's seeking refuge and then having the compassion to help a stranger when you have other things that you're dealing with yourself.
Yes.
So really, that's why I really like the theme of this, that love thy neighbor, because it's really going now, just like what Dinesh you're saying. It's going beyond. It's finding the love. I often call it radical love, because you are pushing against everything else. And in this situation, in this theme of, being in refugee week, it's shouting these humans that we maybe label in a negative way. They are humans just like you and me. They have compassion just like you and me. And it's even deeper, I believe, because you really have to dig deep.
Yeah.
When you are carrying other burdens, you have to dig deep to go to that stranger and say, hey, can I help you? Because we are living again in this society where it's like, what about me? It's me first. Oh my gosh. We are born into this world. We are born with compassion. We are born with love. We are born capable of that. But then the system, I guess, that we are born into impacts us in different ways. There are some that are still capable of seeing beyond, and there are some that conform to systems. So that's, for me, I run to my faith and I run to creativity. That is the only weapon that I can use to say, hey, look, we are all human. Look at that culture. Isn't there something that we can learn from that? Look at this culture. Isn't there, if we just come together and we put all these cultures into this big brewing pot?
I want you to talk to me. Find out about my day with a genuine interest. I want you to speak to me as you are to a friend, a family, and a loved one. Abandonment is not something I should get from you. Isolation, separation, division, ill treatment, kept us apart. We need a time of healing to mend our hearts. It won't be easy, and it will never be, but I want you to try. Until everyone's safe, no one is safe. Get this into your head. Try and change. That change will make you treat me as an equal. We are equal in many ways. Do not tell you otherwise. I am your neighbor and you are mine. Treat me the way you want to be treated, then we all are fine. We are family, a big family from different federations. Let's work together and cherish each other so that we never have to walk alone ever. That is the way forward after the pandemic.
No, that's great. Thank you so much for that. So, you've heard here today from Laura Nyahuye, the creative director of Maokwo, and Lorraine Masiem Pinella, the chair of CARAG, and CARAG's secretary Dinesh Leonardi. In conclusion, I suppose it's important to say that if we choose to walk side by side to share networks and resources or make space for others to lead, we create deeper and longer lasting change than is possible alone. And with this theme that we've been exploring, we cannot walk alone. It's essentially an invitation to extend your hand to someone new, someone who is outside of your current circle, who's had an experience that you've never had, or is fighting for a cause that you're not yet involved with. So I hope you've really been inspired by everything that you've heard today. And if you'd like to follow all the other events in Refugee Week 2021 and in Coventry under the banner Coventry Welcomes 2021 and City of Culture 2021, it's hashtag Coventry Welcomes on Instagram, on Facebook, and on Twitter.